welcome to blah 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 blah. I'm Jin. These are people. Hi.
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 I'm not re-recording it. We're going. Marky, Adam, Eddie, Adam, Marky, something. Sorry, I got hyper all of a sudden.
I noticed that. You gonna be okay?
Nope, heart exploded. You're
Slow
taking
down on
over.
the sugar
Bye.
intake, dude.
No
Slow
sugar,
down on the
water.
sugar intake.
Water's good.
Yep, water, maybe some rum.
That's right.
Anyway, Adam, since you just
Yep.
finished, what have you been up to this week?
Pretty much nothing but Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. My roommate got started playing on it, and I decided to start playing it as well since I now own it, and I've been playing the heck out of it. I have pretty much almost everything collected in the entire game, and I'm not even through the story yet, so, it may be a mild addiction. And outside of that, I've been playing my normal stuff, and NHL 14, things like that. I can't go a week without playing that. So, but mostly pretty much just Assassin's Creed. I'm close to the end now.
So you've been mostly pirates, and Samurai Mitsubishi.
Samurai Toyota, sir, the best player in the Canadian Hockey League. You will leave him alone.
Anything new on his front?
No, he's doing fine. He's scored 231 goals in 62 games.
That's
which is a
hockey.
lot. Yeah.
One might say too much hockey.
No such thing. But that's all I've been up to. So
just the world's greatest pirate game and hockey. That's
basically, yeah.
Yeah, you're going from like the Caribbean to ice, so you've been all over the world.
The only other thing I should be playing right now, because I haven't, is The Wolf Among Us Season 1, Episode 5, I guess.
See, I was just gifted that, and I keep meaning to play it, but things keep blowing up.
Yeah, absolutely should. But I've played all the way through Part 1, 2, 3, and 4, so I really should be playing Part 5 if I can manage to tear myself away from Assassin's Creed for like 5 minutes.
So you can answer a few questions about it.
Yeah.
How adventure gamey is it? Because I know it's a Telltale adventure game, but how exactly is timed choices and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's the same as The Walking Dead. It's The Walking Dead Telltale games are also timed dialogue choices. They use it to great effect where it's timed faster for high pressure situations. You need to give them an answer, or slower for take your time, think about what you want to do. As far as being adventure gamey, it's kind of adventure gamey. You get to pick your choices of where you want to go. Sometimes things get split up. You have to walk through your environment, click on all the things, and your character Bigby will walk through and pick them up, talk about them, etc., etc. You just interact with the world like that, but it's not finicky, small pixel. Hey, you bet you didn't notice that stuff. It's there are dots. Hey, go to the dots. Decide how you want to interact with these things.
All right, so it's just kind of play through the game designed for multiple runs, sort of thing.
It's designed for. It's not really designed for multiple runs. I would say you could probably play it about twice in each episode because there are branching paths and choices. People you can save, people you cannot save. Same with The Walking Dead, things like that. But it's very much not about the interface and the adventure the It's more about the story that it's delivering. That's what it focuses on.
And how would you feel about the saying that The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us are like moral compass simulators?
I really don't think so. I feel like they put so much story in there, and what may seem right to one person does not seem right to the other person. I mean, everything is a moral compass simulator when you give decisions on, hey, who's going to die here? That's always going to be a moral compass situation because some people are going to be like, ha, I want to murder that hooker, and ha, I want that person to live.
Well, yes, you see stuff like that in, say, Mass Effect, but between the moral compass points in Mass Effect, you're running around shooting things.
Yeah, and that's the thing with The Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us, is you're not getting points for doing the right thing. The game never really punishes you in that way to say, like, oh, you did a bad thing, here's some bad guy points.
So it just punishes you in you see
in the story.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you get to see how the story plays out. And hey, maybe you did the wrong thing here, and oh, well, that's a bad thing you did. So now you're going to have to deal with the consequences. It does give you real consequences. So.
All right. Maki,
Yes.
how's it going?
It's going.
What you been up to?
Practically nothing all week. Not even joking.
Just still not starving?
I did a little bit of Don't Starve, but not nearly as much because I was extremely upset because I got this super awesome game last Sunday. And right after we were done recording the podcast. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is a really cool world. Wander around a bit, and I found an ice box. And I broke it apart, and I brought it back to my camp, and I rebuilt the ice box, and I was all prepped for winter, and then I died. And I had the ice box, and I had Chester, and I had a shelter system kind of set up, and I had installed some of my first mods onto it, and had gotten greenhouse farms so that they would work all the way through winter, so I could continue to make food. And I had those set up and running, and already growing things as winter was starting. And then I totally bit it, and it sucked nuts, and I was really upset. So I had to take a break from it. But otherwise, I kind of toyed around shock and surprise here for everybody. I actually pulled out all of my magic cards and started going through them and looking at building myself a deck, because I have some friends that are back in the area now that actually play the game versus playing the Steam version of it, and was looking at building myself a deck so that I'm not borrowing theirs, because 2 weeks ago I milled a friend to death with a mill deck that they have and totally destroyed him, and then he beat me because I stayed with the same mill deck, and then I beat him, and then he beat me again. So, walked away 50-50. Not a bad thing, but yeah, so I'm getting back into actually playing the physical card game. But pretty much outside of that, minus working, all I've done is sit and read, because Adam, you dirty scoundrel, got me sucked into reading the Dresden Files books. And, I can't put them down.
It's because they're good.
I'm already 100 pages into book 3. And
Yeah,
I've only been reading them for a week.
She's been mentioning things here and there that have been giving me ideas for my D&D campaign.
And I'm just like, I need to read them all. It's so bad. It's such a bad thing. By the way, if anybody's out there has free Barnes & Noble cards just laying around with money on them and you're not going to use them, just send them my way, because I'm running out of cash to buy these books, and I need help.
So what she's saying is she will be here talking on the podcast for you. You give her Barnes & Noble cards. This is pimping. You want to be a pimp? Here you go.
I'm totally whoring myself out for Barnes & Noble cards because I need Barnes & Noble cards. I'm running out of funds to feed my reading addiction. Think of the education I'm getting. I'm giving my brain food if you give me Barnes & Noble cards. Just think of it that way. It's a beautiful thing. Food. We'll read for Barnes & Noble cards.
There you go.
But yeah, I haven't really done anything. Fun thing to mention, I have a friend visiting from out of town who does some writing for Fnatic, which is a big esports team. So next weekend, I'm going to the International 4 in Seattle to watch the final few days of the actual big tournament for Dota 2. So I'm super stoked. I know nothing about Dota, but I know enough about League. I think I can grasp it a little bit.
Tell me about this Fnatic.
Fnatic is just an esports league, or
Esports
esports Dota team. They also have like league teams and various other games, but it's just their name. He works on their website. He does coverage for events and practice things for them just as an intern. And he says it's really cool. He's gotten really close to one of the main players on the team, and the dude's absolutely hilarious apparently. So I get to meet all of them when I go over there next weekend, and it's gonna be super awesome.
Enough
I'm
about this
excited.
fanatic. Tell me about internships.
Oh God.
No.
Tell me about internships. You should probably just go talk to her friend Mike about that.
Yes.
I'm just picking. So, much more to talk about next week.
Oh yes, because I pretty much got told by Mike that I need to put myself through Dota boot camp and start watching some streams, so I kind of understand what the hell I'm looking at when I go next weekend. So
Oh, I think
it's
you'll
a
know what
work
the
in
hell you're looking
progress.
at. Some things jump on other things. Some people die for reasons you will never comprehend.
Hey Mike,
then score
what's the
points
shiny
go up.
ball thing that he just threw do? Huh, Mike? That's all I'm going to be doing the entire time.
Mike. What day is it?
No,
Oh my
Eddie.
god, no, Eddie.
Oh my God. Speaking of Eddie,
Sir Edward Phoenix Hands.
I.
What have you been doing with the college and the not playing D&D and the boredom?
The not playing D&D part. Been trying to get that worked out with college. Still working on that after a week of silence. Oh well. Also got a letter in the mail telling me that it's my annual inspection for my apartment. That they're coming in Monday, July 16th of 2014.
huh?
I'm-
That's a few days off.
July 16th isn't a Monday. It's a
I-
Wednesday.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you. I'm like, someone mistypoed this freaking letter, or someone needs to figure out how to read a damn calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Been playing a good bit of Hearthstone, some Shovel Knight, and a good bit of Hammer Watch with Bulbasaur and Mac. So
Shovel Knight. I've been hearing things.
It's a great game.
yes.
Oh, really? Explain.
Oh God. Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay, I want to say it's 8-bit, but at the same time, it's
It's an 8-bit style.
yes, it's 8-bit style.
It's emulating the aesthetic of it, but it's not actually 8-bit.
Take Castlevania, take DuckTales, like Legend of Zelda, a little bit of Dark Souls, because when you die in the game, you lose a good bit of your loot / gold, and you can go back and get it. And like slammed into a platformer with a shovel-wielding knight going
Oh,
to
no.
rescue his girlfriend, who's a shield-wielding knight.
Progressive?
And it's got that Mario 3 world map setup looking like deal going on. So
Oh.
it's very, very fun, and like one of the best artifacts you can probably get in the game is the phase locket. So I would use it as much as you can. Spam that horde thing out.
But here's the question. In a game where you have a shovel and you're a knight, can you dig through the center of the planet and go to China?
I haven't tested that. I've tried just ground pounding with the shovel thingy, and well, when I hit the ground, it just makes me walk again. So I'm like, well, I'm guessing I can't go to China this way. Damn.
No,
So they gave
probably
you a
can't.
shovel that you can't dig with.
Hey, you can dig. You
Oh.
can find treasure, and you can find little secrets hidden in the walls. So,
Like
yeah.
magic wall chicken.
And you can find secrets within secrets. nuts.
See, instead of magic wall chicken in Shovel Knight, the key is that you don't just have your chicken sitting in a wall, spoiling and being gross. You get your wall chicken is actually served on a silver platter that you use your shovel to flip the top off of. So it's nice and it's preserved. There's no dirt on it. It's not stuck in the wall. It's great.
That or you find a bomb inside and you go, fuck.
That too. That also does happen. Yeah.
That would annoy me, but it would be so much fun. I could see that.
But other than that, there's not a whole lot on my end, so whoosh.
Doing the standard things.
Doing the standard things.
All right. Wanted to point this out. And we'll jump straight to the end before going through the middle. I looked into games that were coming out, and we are balls deep in the dry period.
Yeah, there is absolute fuck all coming out right now. I looked at the new release list myself, and I just kind of went, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, nothing new until like late August.
I mean, Wolf Among Us Episode 5 came out this week, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Terraria came out for the PS3. Ooh.
Good game, but already had it for a while.
Yeah, exactly. It just wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I looked into the movies. A lot of movies coming out this week. None of which I give a crap about except Video Games, the movie.
I haven't actually seen what movies are coming out this week. What is coming out this week?
Let me...
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah, Video Games, the movie is like from executive producers Zach Braff and blah, blah, blah. It's essentially a look at the history of video games. And mostly I'm interested in watching just to check the accuracy.
Oh. God, yeah, there's just nothing good coming out right now. The sequel to The Purge. Planes? Persecuted. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot coming out. I mean, you know what? There's totally going to be the Rock Hercules on July 25th, so that's the thing.
Talk about that next week, I believe.
I will probably go see it so we can talk about it.
Let's see. So yeah, that's for movies and like games for the next couple weeks. We got nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. And that's what I hate summer for. But at the same time, it gives me a chance to catch up on those backlog things, which,
Yeah, I've been wishing I felt like backlog games. Like, I have no section to talk about what I've been doing because I go to play a game and I get bored with it within like 5 minutes. Just can't
have you been
find
playing
anything.
the Space Janitor, though?
No. Not even that.
Yeah, I haven't really seen you playing a lot. I saw you skip between like 3 different games yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get into something.
Yeah.
And nope, the only thing right now that I think you're getting into is just the D&D stuff, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
Which you could recap that if you wanted.
Recap of that. I got a giant pony, a giant pony-sized rabbit that I then had jump onto Bubbles' bed. He punched it in the face. And then now we're in a zombie movie.
Yep.
DM
like
put
fun times.
shadows on us without remembering that when they kill something, they create another shadow.
Oh, yes. Those moments where Netsu goes, oh, right, those do that. God.
I forgot about that.
Especially because the greater shadows are CR8, and this fight contains like 5 of them.
Oh, but the experience...
Oh yeah, everyone's getting a level up except for the cleric. The cleric might get one. Depending on how many of the warriors, the NPC warriors, die.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, John.
Oh yeah, and Eddie got our barbarian derped so bad.
Yeah, near murdered.
Hey, the DM only asked me to roll for him, and I only nat one twice. I mean, I don't see the problem here.
This is the worst.
Yep. Let's
So,
see. Like,
what else happened this week?
Not a lot of much. Looking at a little bit of news, seeing Sega's plans for Wii U Virtual Console are non-existent, and I'm wondering, does that mean they have plans for something else with their back catalog? Or do they just not have the money? Because money has been a big issue with Sega for a while now.
I was about to say, knowing Sega, either they don't have the resources or they're just being dumb. I mean, honestly, they haven't had the best plan for it for the longest time.
This is Sega after all?
Yeah. I mean, the reason they're in the position they're in is because they've been making a lot of bad decisions for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Hackers break Mario Kart 8, vow not to aid cheaters.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. They hacked it, but they only hacked it in regards to changing some code and proving that it was hackable. They haven't really done anything intense with it yet. So
yeah, that's kind of one of those situations though where you're proving something everyone knows. It's if it runs software, it's hackable.
Exactly.
See, I just really wish that Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation altogether would really accept the modding community as much as like Steam has with having the Steam Workshop and having mods for games to add things in like that. Because there are things that are completely harmless that enhance the game to make it either easier or harder, depending on what you're looking for, and adds another like level basically to the game and to whatever you're playing. Or it could be something as easy as the cosmetics things, like Jin showed me the Moemon thing. And it's like, imagine putting that, and even if they did things where, like things that were big things that overworked the entire game where you had to pay a small amount to get them, like where you had to pay like 50 cents to get them. Think of how many crazy people would pay 50 cents to get that Moemon thing on their actual DS.
I would.
Like, people would go nuts.
True.
I would buy it. I would buy it because it's goddamn adorable. Okay? Like, for the love of God.
Yeah,
I'm with you though.
That and when you accept the modding community, it becomes easier to police cheaters.
Yep.
Easier to police cheaters. It becomes easier to. Honestly, you grow a better connection with your community usually in that way too, because they feel that you're more accepting of the things that they have to create. I mean, that's one of the reasons that Minecraft is so successful.
Oh yeah.
It's just all you're doing is creating and sharing, and so many different skins and mods and everything for Minecraft, and none of it has ever been shut down really, unless it's been something harmful.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's and that's one of the reasons it just got so huge, is because you can just do so much with it. It's just a giant sandbox. I kind of hope that, like Marky said, I really hope that more companies can kind of follow along with the Steam Workshop kind of thing. But the PC also has a unique advantage in that it is easier to search out those customizations when it comes to Xbox One or PS4, which are now running the PC architectures, the x86 stuff. Mm-hmm. You can get mods on there, but you're gonna have to make an entire store section for them. It's gonna have to be curated. It's extra work and extra overhead for those kinds of things.
And I totally get it, and it's obviously going to take more time to get something like that booted up and actually running and have it be efficient and have all the bugs worked out. But it's one of those things that you have to look at, is it worth it in the long run? Like, there's a lot of, like, for example, like, with me, I love, like, I've never done a lot of mods. I've never done them because they frustrate me. I always somehow manage to screw them up royally, so I didn't do them for a long time. And then, like, I won't do them with Minecraft because it takes way too much to get them to, like, you have to download this installer, and then you have to download this patcher, and then you have to have this program running in the background just to get the mod to work. It's too much. But with Steam Workshop and having games on Steam, being able to just sit there, hit subscribe on something so that it auto-updates, and it puts it into your game, and then having an actual page in the game where you can go and choose things, like on Don't Starve is how that's set up. I really like that, because then I can add things to it. Like, I've added, there's someone who had a shelter in there that gives you a partial shading from sun and from rain, because that makes your sanity go down and your health go down in the case of the sun if it's too hot. So having that cover is great, but there isn't something like that in the game already. And then there's things that add map markers to show you where, like things like flint and the carrots and the beefalo and things like that they don't have markers for already in the game, where it's like, oh crap, is it over here that those were or over here? I don't know. And so I have things like that, and there's helpful ones. And then there's the funny ones like the Markiplier mod, which I'm potentially going to play later this week just to finally try it out, where it fully overworks the game, gives you Markiplier as a player in there, and it's hilarious. Like, I watched him play it, and I was like, oh my god, this looks so fun. And so I went and downloaded it.
I know,
But
I think that
you could actually
definitely
get
it's
something
worth-
like that. Yeah, it's something that's worthwhile because so many people love doing it. I know I love playing on the PC, but I was originally a console gamer. There's a lot of games on the console that if I had the ability to do things like that with them on the console, because I still love certain games on the console only, I would still play on my console. Like, my poor Xbox, as much as I love it, has been collecting dust for 8-9 months now.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think it's a good point that they constantly complain about people trading in their games, and mods add longevity to games. Like,
They do.
you can, if you get bored with it, throw a mod on it, completely overhaul the game, keep going.
That's what I like about playing Left 4 Dead on the new PC now. Like, decided to grab up the Crash Bandicoot mod for Left 4 Dead 2.
Nice.
I was playing that with, Jin, Bubba, and someone else. I think it was maybe Matt. But
Yeah, it was Matt.
having that mod, it's like, okay, this is fun. Having, to face Engine and all of them as boss wave type deals were going on, that was fun. Granted, we got our asses kicked, but hey.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan sues Rockstar over GTA 5 character likeness. I'm going to point out, I think this lawsuit's invalid just because Lindsay Lohan was like she's generic white girl. She is what you take and then start messing with to get other interesting people.
Yeah, well, the thing is that you look between the character and you look at her, it's just, there's nothing. It's so generic.
Looking at the character.
That's like saying any clean-cut white dude with black hair and with black short hair is Nathan Drake. I mean, you can't.
I don't see the likeness here.
No, there is no likeness. I mean, I've played the hell out of GTA 5, and when I saw that lawsuit, just kind of went, huh, okay, that's a cash grab.
Yeah, she just wants money to deal with her issues.
Yeah, hey Pokemon, I'm gonna sue you for having a boy who turns his ball cap around. And because I wear my ball cap backwards. Shut the fuck up and move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Was this Mayo controller strap around your arm and use, from what I can tell, it uses the way the muscles move to tell what your hands are doing.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool. Marky showed me the article on that. It looks like a cool thing. I'm sure it has its bugs, but I mean, that sort of thing. I have a big love for alternative control methods. I was one of the few people who actually liked the Kinect, especially the new Kinect, because it actually had the processor horsepower to properly check and render things, and not see the bare minimum of what it was looking at. It could actually give you a more full-fledged look at yourself, and could recognize individual fingers, things like that. Anyway, I'm a big fan of the alternate input stuff like that, so that was cool.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I like alternate input as well. I just, in a lot of ways, I don't see it replacing the controller anytime soon, due to many gamers using it as a way to wind down, and it's very difficult to wind down when you're doing things that start
When you're
getting
up
the
and
adrenaline
jumping and
pumping.
running and...
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to wind
When I
down.
had
versus
my-
winding you up.
when I
Sorry.
had my Kinect, honestly, like when I worked from home, because I didn't walk around a building all day and I didn't walk to and from work like I used to and things like that, I actually got, on top of having Kinect Sports, which really pissed off my downstairs neighbors because I was on the top floor of an apartment, I'd be playing Kinect Sports and jumping around, but then they also had the Biggest Loser game, which, like, you could input your weight and it would like look at your body shape and ask you questions, and you'd have to talk and respond to it to let them know how you were doing, to decide, okay, based on these responses, do we need to move this up and make it harder and make it lower, or make it easier because it's too much, things like that. Like, I loved that game. So even though everyone's like, gamers do a lot of it to relax, it's like, yeah, but there's still that side of it that sometimes you just want to play a game to play a game, but at the same time you really want to just do something. It's like DDR. Everybody loved the crap out of DDR. And everybody nowadays,
game genre?
and everyone nowadays is like, oh god, I don't want to get up and play my games. It's like, did you play DDR as a kid? Oh yeah, I flipping love that game. What the hell are you talking about? Like, really?
I can see both sides. I just, for the gaming as we know it, I don't particularly see this taking over, but for alternative gaming, this could be really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like
there's always stuff. Oh. Go ahead, Morgan.
Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. All right, fine now. I was gonna say I think you're gonna see a lot more stuff with rhythm games and alternative control methods and things like that come in more and more with the slow rise of things like the Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the Oculus Rift, but it's another one of those things. I think the big hurdle it's going to need is the ability to just plug and play. Because having messed with the dev kit, you have to go through way too much to get it started. Like, you have so much calibration.
Shit.
And if, like, ultimately it's worth it, but the average consumer, like, you heard what Marky was saying about getting mods going, the average person doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. And that's a thing where they have to make it very easily and readable, and I think that's going to be a big thing that they're working on. I mean, that's always been what I've heard out of the Oculus camp, is that we're trying to make the interface and the software and everything much better.
Yeah.
So,
like, I talking with Coy about it, because he's the one with the Oculus Rift, I think what they need to do is get it to where you can, like, plug it in, it'll bring up a little button, it says press the button and calibrate, and just tells you how to swing the thing. Once it's swung, boom.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what you got to do. You just have to mess with so many offsets and stuff.
yeah. I gotcha.
And let's see. Oh yeah, Neversoft has been dissolved, and a lot of the workers from there have moved over to which was it? Infinity
Ward?
Infinity Ward, yep.
And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking back to Tony Hawk, and I was like, oh, that's sad. They made good games. And then I remember that recently they've just been making rhythm games and the crappier Tony Hawks. So it's kind of like, was this a good thing?
Yeah, Neversoft, they really, as a studio, they kind of went downhill. And they had a lot of their guys working on Call of Duty stuff anyways.
Yeah, they were helping with the extinction mode, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was what they said, I believe, in one of the press releases, was that our guys were already a good fit, so we ended up just merging our studio with theirs. And I understand, people are kind of annoyed about it because they're like, oh no, Neversoft, that's part of my childhood. But old Neversoft is gone.
Yeah, because I'm like, the last time they made a game I liked was in 2005, and that was Gun.
Yeah.
It was like before that, like, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk Underground series wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
none of that stuff was great.
Yeah. So if they can bring up Infinity Ward, which, if I'm right, is the better of the Call of Duty studios.
Yes.
Yeah, because the other's Treyarch, and then there's the new one I've never heard of.
Yeah, they've got the triple dev cycle now.
Yep. Which I actually kind of hope that makes the games better, but gives them longer dev
Gives
time.
them more time. Yeah. That'd be nice.
It has to go year to year, though, so that's why they've got the 3 developers. So it's like, all right, you guys are going to work on this 1 year, and then you guys are going to work on this while they're working on that, and then, all right, while these guys are working on this, you guys are going to work on this, okay?
Yeah,
So
and given the way Call of Duty works, they work really cheaply anyway, like recycling engines and stuff, so, like, giving them 3 years to work instead of 2, hopefully that gives good stuff. I'm looking forward to a good Call of Duty campaign again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a fan of seeing Call of Duty slowly die off in a cold, lonely ditch somewhere. So
I am as well, but
If it continues to suck, yes, but if
You know, I've been okay with it. I used to be a huge Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 guy, and I used to play the hell out of it, and I used to own noobs at it, so I'm okay with it. I mean, does it cater to the casual bro gamer? It does, but I don't really care. It serves a niche.
yeah,
it's not even that I have a problem with, like, I don't even know how to really put it. I've never personally played a Call of Duty game, minus like one multiplayer map at one point in my life. I've watched a lot of people play it, and it's just not my type of game.
Mm-hmm.
But the things it brings out in some of the people that I know, I kind of go, we're going to turn this off now, and you're going to go back to normal, or I'm walking out of here and we're done. Like,
That's less
I'm
a
going
Call of
home.
Duty. That's less a Call of Duty problem and more just a person's attitude problem. I mean, I've had friends do the same thing.
yeah,
they
that's
could
just war shooters on people.
even
Yeah,
that.
but
I
they
mean,
play Halo, and it's not even the same. They don't even have the same
Well,
reaction.
it's a different thing.
It's a different
Halo is
pace.
more colorful.
it's a different pace. It really
Yeah.
is.
yeah.
Call of Duty is very
I see them on
frantic.
the same level, so.
yeah, maybe.
Call of Duty
is
is
a
very
difference. One's an arena shooter, the other's a.
No, they're both arena shooters. The arenas just look different. It's anyway. Doesn't matter. Call of Duty. Whoa.
The way I classify arena shooter is the ability to pick up weapons as you go, and Call of Duty focuses more on loadouts.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I would go. I wouldn't put Call of Duty in the arena shooter genre. That's more Unreal Tournament's area.
Yeah,
That's fair.
different enough. I think that's my big thing. Why I like Halo a lot more than Call of Duty is it's equalized. I start off with an assault rifle. If I get the rocket launcher first, awesome. If they do, fuck.
If they do, well, I'm gonna go sit in the corner and hide for a little bit and wait for you to waste that ammo, or I'm just gonna wait till your back's turned to me and I'm gonna knife you in the back and then teabag your face off and then run away.
Yeah, whereas in Call of Duty, I like have my assault rifle and they've been playing for 500 hours and have like an Uber assault rifle. And it's just like, well, why did I try?
Yep. Chuck the controller out the window. Fuck this shit. Going home. Actually, no, I'm already. New game.
New game
Indeed.
period.
Yep.
Was there anything else that went on this week, Jen?
Not that I found interesting. It was a lot of boring stuff.
Actually, one of the things that we can talk about, you guys probably haven't watched a lot of it, but EVO 2014, been pretty good. I watched a lot of the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and a lot of the
Gonna
Ultra
take you
Street
for
Fighter
a
4.
ride.
No, that's Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I know.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 does not, in fact, want to take you for a ride.
Which is sad.
It is. But yeah, no, they've had good stuff, and I mean, I watched Smash as well, some of the Smash stuff, and while Smash isn't quite as, I want to say it's not as visually enjoyable for me as a fighting game fan.
And
Because
he lost himself.
yeah, because Smash it's a slower paced game, especially when it's just one-on-one. It's a slower paced game, so it doesn't quite have that awesomeness. But a lot of the Ultra Street Fighter 4, a lot of the Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Killer Instinct even was all really good stuff. It's been a really good tournament, a lot of upsets, a lot of fun stuff, and there hasn't really been any major controversies this year. No horrible sexist things or awful other stuff that's gone on like there has been in the past. It's been
Hearthstone
decent.
tournament. We are not allowing women because the higher ups won't allow women because they want to be taken seriously. Damn it!
Oh god.
Damn it, man.
But that league overturned that anyway, so
Yeah, it's still stupid.
it's still
Yeah.
stupid. But
I also heard today that during the Smash tournament, there was a 4-stock 1-minute run with Pikachu.
yeah,
So I'm like, that's got to be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Once it, like, eh.
See, all I got out of that is somewhere there's a Pikachu with a trainer. The trainer has 4 Pokeballs, and he's going to catch, like, 4 legendaries. Yeah. We have been... What did I call us at the beginning? Zop, zip, zippity boppity bop?
I believe you called us.
Yeah.
I believe exactly what you called us was explosive. Blah 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 blah.
Sounds about right. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
Bye.